boiling at.
No problem. No problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to run through, but hopefully the next 40 minutes, we've got 40 minutes. So what happens is if we click off after 40 minutes, just click back on the link to come back, just in case we're mid-flow a sentence. But what we're going to do is everybody here at the moment, there might be other people jumping in, have told their story. So maybe we can just go around and say where you're from and why you got involved in the storytelling process and what it's done for you. So maybe Tracy, seeing as you're the veteran, you're the eldest pioneer that we've got online today. So maybe you just want to start to help Sean to feel welcome.
Certainly. I'm sorry. I just finished seeing this one lady that is coming on who reached out to me is now saying, oh, video, I'm not, yeah, she's concerned about her looks because it's early morning over here.
Tell her she can come on. She doesn't need
I know. I'm
bless.
it's not like that. I'm like, I'm literally in my pajamas, so,
Bless. So Tracy's in America. So maybe Leanie. Let's start with Leanie, Tracy, so you can finish that video.
Okay. Yeah, let me just finish.
No problem. Cheers.
Okay. Well, yeah. My name is Lena and I'm from Denmark, and I started out with this because I'm involved with a network marketing thing, or how do you call it now? Internet.
Affiliate? Is it affiliate?
Yeah, some affiliate marketing, yeah. And I'm a cranial psychotherapist and have some other groups where I want to become more independent, just having my own business, and still I'm also having a normal business besides, not a normal job besides a part-time job. So actually I have too many things, but this was more, when I was introduced to tell your story, it was a lot of things. It was both, it matched with a lot of things that I want to continue work with, developing other people, helping other people, and but also I needed to find my confidence and my authentic self, and to express the things that I want to work with and attract the right people. So that's basically why I started this, and to get to know myself a little better. So I definitely have got to know myself a lot better, and it is like a healing process, and I have been like continuing healing and finding new aspects, and yeah, it's a lot more than I actually expected. So it continues and continues.
Bless you.
So yeah, so this is something I want to also work with, having my own sessions, and I would like to make this into a Danish group too. So a lot of Danish people don't like to speak English, so that's my ambition to do this next year, that we're going to start a Danish group.
Yeah, so it's great that Sean's from Denmark, because hopefully part of the
it would be very great to be more Danish people too.
I'd help you out in any way that I can, Lene, because I'm actually at the moment learning a lot about how to do stuff like this. So if you don't have me on Facebook, just friend me up on Facebook, and because it's a great idea. And I've been thinking about doing something in Danish as well. Also, I'm a musician, and I want to create a studio where I take young people in who are also in going in the wrong direction.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And try to influence them in music and try to get their talent up, because there's so many people sitting in apartments with all the other guys, and they're smoking and they're drinking and they're going out and they are wasting out on the talent they have.
Yeah.
But there's not so many opportunities to go for here in Denmark. So I want to change that.
Fantastic.
But what I'm also thinking is that I'm also going international, because Denmark is also a very tiny country. We're only 5-6 million people here. So it really shrinks your target audience into a very minimum. But I understand what you mean, Lene, and it's a good idea. But then you have two things to to worry about.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's brilliant. It's great foundations. So Tracy, over to you, and then Cassia, just to introduce yourself and where you're from and how you were involved, and whatever else you want to say.
Okay. Hello there. Yes. Let's see. I started out with Anthea when it was just a mere idea, and let's see how we can make this fly. And it's been, definitely a journey, and to see it evolve into what it has, and it just keeps growing. So hello, Laura. I haven't seen you, but I know you're there. Thank you for joining. And it just appealed to me, and had worked with Anthea doing some other stuff, and she asked a few of us to join and feel this space out and see what we could do. And it, what can I say? I don't, it continues to evolve, just as we do, because our stories continue to evolve. So I just see it as that. It's like an evolution, and there's so many ways that this whole process can be utilized, as Leni was sharing, even in just using it as a skill and a tool, or to change it into something like Sean was talking about, and morph it into something that you'd like, a demographic, or people that you'd like to serve. So we all have stories, and just seeing over this past year plus of this entrepreneur journey of how our stories really are who we are. Again, there's that fine line that they make us who we are, but they don't actually define us and peg-hole us. They're actually those diamonds in the rough, and they're to be shared in the way we connect with others. So that's what we may many times think as our weakness is actually our strength.
Absolutely. And where are you ringing in from, Tracy?
Oh, I'm here in sunny Arizona.
So thank you, Tracy. Thank you so much. And over to you, Cassia, just to share some words with us.
I started in July, and I was invited by Adele, and I really didn't know what I could expect, excluding the fact that I couldn't imagine to write another book, because writing the master was a nightmare. But this process somehow was a challenge, but I pushed it very, very, very fast, and probably that's why it was completed in 4 weeks. And then it's just developed, and it's just so difficult to explain, but even so many times when we are reading the same story, we know there is something else, and it's getting deeper, and it's just peeling everything off and getting to the core, we can say. So I will advise this everybody, because everybody has the story. It can be more colorful, maybe not really colorful, but everybody has story, and get to the point that you can actually be honestly with yourself. Not everybody can do it, but if you do it, there is just nothing else to stop. And this is helping to actually be authentic online. So this is first, the audience is just everybody who feel this is time to take everything off, or even shout everything in a paper. Or this is for people who would like to be very authentic and using the brand online or helping others. I think this is just so important. And most people online, they're either looking for some help, either connected with depression or anything connected with the problems, or people who want to build a business online. So this is just so important to heal the past and just use the future absolutely different way. So
thank you.
I translated in Polish, so there will be Polish group as well.
Yeah, and do you know, it never ceases to amaze me what we say when we're invited, because we don't prep all this. It's just allowing people to speak authentically and truthfully, and it's just fantastic to hear from where we started to where we're just evolving. So there is no kind of like structure other than the book process itself, the blueprint, that we all follow that same blueprint. But what we recognise is that what we've all got in common is our story. So it doesn't matter about all our differences, but we've got in common is our story, even if it's different from each other. So Laura, I don't know if you want to come and say hello. Thank you so much for coming this morning, because I know it's early. I can hear that in Tracy's voice. It's just really, bless you. So good morning.
Thank you. It's early and it's really cold because I live up by Canada in Wisconsin. So it's 20 below. I don't know what that is in Celsius, but it's super cold. Like your fingers will fall off.
Oh, bless you. But thank you for joining us. And what was it that appealed from what Tracy said? Because he wasn't going to come on camera, and that would have been perfectly all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, do I have to look good? Because I don't.
No, just turn up. Yeah.
No, that's good. No, I started just looking into your Tell Your Story program because I'm a social worker. And I've been doing training, though, for other social workers to get there. We have to get in America continuing education credit. So you have to take so many classes every year. So I've been teaching those, but I want to try to integrate stories, stories with my clients that are teaching moments, not disparaging to my clients, of course, but just like, stories from actual direct practice in the field, because I go in people's homes and do, kind of the down and dirty work sometimes, and just using those stories to train other social workers. So that appealed to me, just the whole story part. And then I've been doing some writing. And I had just one of my stories was published nationally. It was just a thing about Adoption Month. So, and finding some of my birth family. So that was in the LA Times, which was big, and the New York Post, which was really big. So I want to try to kind of develop that more and use that writing for advocacy work and bringing attention to some social justice issues, which we have a few of in every country, but America seems to definitely have some that need their story told, for sure.
Fantastic. And I've just realised, Laura, you're on the social work network group.
Yeah.
I just realised. I just thought I recognise your face a little bit. But yeah, fantastic that you're here, because I know that you're amazing when it comes to justice work, and I'm so glad, because I know that this is going to be, as a ex-social worker myself, it's powerful information. So thank you so much. And
thank you.
So do just sit back and enjoy what we're going to share with you. But we're going to just share with you how the process works. And basically, hopefully, at the end, we can have a conversation. And also, as well, what was the other thing I was going to say? 40 minutes. After 40 minutes, the Zoom will cut off. Just click back on the link to come back in.
Okay.
We have 40-minute slots, and there's a reason for that, but I'll explain more. But Marion, I don't know if Marion's able to come out. Thank you so much, Laura.
Yep.
Marion, are you there? Can you hear us?
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, hi. Have you got your video there? Thank you for joining us.
Okay, my outfit is not too good right now, so I was just...
keep it off. Yeah, that's fine.
So you would laugh, actually. So, go ahead.
It's all right. Leave it off. That's fine. So is that right? Am I pronouncing that, Marion?
That's correct. You pronounce very well.
Brilliant. And who's invited you today?
Kasia.
Oh, Cassia. Fantastic.
Kasia, yeah.
Brilliant. And what was it? What Cassia said?
Everywhere.
Cassia's everywhere, yeah. And what was it that Cassia said that inspired you to click on and join us? What interested you from what she said?
Actually, that was a surprise. I don't know much about this meeting, so
that's fine.
I would like to join just and listen to what we're going to talk about it. And
I can say something. So my idea was for Marian, because he said that his wife passed away the same month that my mom.
Okay,
and so he's in a process of like very similar, but I cannot compress his loss to my loss.
No.
So that's my help.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, Marion. That's really, sorry to hear that. That's sad, isn't it?
Thank you.
So it is. I know are you ringing in England, or where are you in the world?
Well, a little bit farther and colder in Canada, Toronto.
Okay, so not far from Laura then, I think. That is maybe different, but okay, brilliant. Yeah. It's great for you to be here. So basically what I'm going to do is share the screen, and we're going to start to share with you the blueprint process that we're just going to. It's a very simple process, and it's very difficult to explain as well, because it's only when you go through the experience that you feel it. It's a feeling process. It's not an intellectual process. So I am Anthea Fenton. I'm the creator of the Tell Your Story Blueprint, which is a gift back to humanity. Can you imagine? This is a gift back to humanity. How do you give a gift back to humanity? Just by allowing space to support people in sharing their voices. And in doing that, it really helps people to release on so many different levels, from a social level, because we get to meet as a community, on a emotional level, because emotionally we release a lot of emotional trapped energy, which can cause illness. Mentally, when you find that actually you're not on your own, you've got that sense of belonging, there's a sense of security in this community that is not anywhere else. And financially, because financially many people, well, we all need money to survive, but many people are exchanging their time for money, and there's an imbalance. And so what this process has done is paid it forward 100%. So as people tell their story, and then they want to continue to help other people to tell their story, because we've got billions of people to reach, then there is a financial compensation, a financial exchange for that. And eventually what people find, and what I'm finding, is that you become passionate about this work. It's not something it's not a job, it's a way of being. And so we're shifting from doing, in terms of our employment, doing because we have to. We're gradually building that bridge of transition to a place of being, so that you can do this work from a place of heart, from the heart. So it's a new way of thinking, it's a new way of being, it's a new way of so many different things. But the brilliant thing is that it's working. And so since last year, we launched in April last year, we've had over nearly 5,000 people have actually organically visited our first original website, which is empoweringangel.space. So certainly go and have a look at that. That's our original website. And we haven't done any paid advertising. We did one little tiny boost on Facebook. So it's all been through word of mouth. So even if you listen to this presentation and you think, it's not quite for me, I'm not ready, please spread the word, because without each of us doing our little bit, it's a very long process, and this work is life-changing. So just enjoy the presentation and welcome. So hopefully by the end of it, you'll be a bit more clearer. So that's my book title. So as Laura was saying, my background is social work, and I left the whole care. I've always done care work, and I left the care field with a gift of stress, anxiety, and depression. And I say it was a gift because I hit rock bottom. I went through divorce, and that was 19 years ago. And ever since then, I've been working in community with this process. Gone through a lot of things, but that's another story. But we'll just focus on this today. So I am somebody who is walking the talk, which is why I mentor people, and everybody who tells their story becomes a mentor. So it means that you are getting into the trenches and doing the work. So this Tell Your Story process takes you through the hand-holding process of writing your story. This journal is a handheld gift back to humanity. Pause throughout and reflect your thoughts and feelings. To suffer in silent desperation is not your purpose. This is your chance to make a difference by raising your inner voice for you, your family and friends. You have the choice to break your silence. Will you take my hand? So this is your opportunity to share and write your story and become a pioneer of the School for Facilitators of Change. And similar to like Gandhi said, be the change that you want to see in the world. But he didn't add, by going within. So being the change is about exploring who you are as an individual and sharing that out there. So over to you, Leni. Is Leni there?
Yeah. And here, Tell Your Story Blueprint is unique and enables each of us to claim our truth. We are here to empower storytelling as part of our human transformation and evolution. By each of us doing so enables us to hear and heal. Taking courage to tell stories enables the soul to transform into the truth of who we are. Let's go there. You have been chosen to go there, to be a pioneer in laying foundations for the School for Facilitators of Change.
Thank you.
Line here. Have to.
Sorry, that's just a bit jumpy. Sorry, I was just trying to. Yeah, you're welcome. Sorry, over to you, Tracy. I hope you can see that. I hope you can see the slides. If you can't, just give me a shout.
Yep, perfect.
Brilliant.
Tell your story blueprint format. I will use this space to add clarity to how the blueprint works. Read is to read the story as a facilitator of this unique format. Write is to use the pause for thought section to hand write your story on one side of an A4 paper. To then type up an email to your facilitator of change, whose role is to hold space for you to share your story by listening. Each of us listening to each other, sharing our story, is all we have to do. We are each responsible and have permission to remember the importance of self-care and love. Self-nurturing throughout this process is crucial.
Perfect. Okay, so maybe Cassia can read this one, or Cassia needs to go at 5. Cassia, can you see that on the slide?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tell your story blueprint format. Publish after you have emailed your text section of your story. Each section, it will be compiled together, and as the imagine across demonstrates, your details will be entered between. Your storybook compiled and emailed back to you. Printed option will be available with extra cost. The imagine will be also changed between. As we grow, there will be slight changes. All to benefits to greater good and with the benefits of the intention. The next section in the structure of the book.
Thank you, Cassia. So basically, when you're writing, as you'll see the format as we're going through, though, when you see the page break, which is opposite, so it says pause for thought, reflect and write your story, start writing here. That is your section. And I encourage you to handwrite your story and then type it up and email in. So this section was included because I'm not sure if you're like me, but my own thoughts and feelings are triggered as I'm reading somebody else's work. And in light of the chapters being related to all of us, like issues that you'll see, pursuit of happiness, money, time, health, those are all related to every single one of us. And so the chapters are relevant to each one of us. It's just our story is the bit that we need to fill in. So it's like a dot to dot. There's a dot missing, and that's your story. So I ask people not to be concerned with being overcritical. There's no judgment. There's no comparison. We don't compare our stories. We don't share our stories. You're the only one who shares your story. When we all meet together in a Zoom room, you share your story then. I email you back your written story, so we don't publish it or anything without your permission. We've not got to that stage yet. So all we're trying to do is to help you to shine the best you, that when you get your story out there, then it leaves room to expand into the magnificent human being that you are. And that's the bottom line. Many of us are playing such small lives that it's our story that's holding us back. So this process is about releasing that in order to really find that goodness that's within us. So issues of grammar and spelling are all common to many of us, and many people have got concerns. We don't concern ourselves with those here. And I say that even more than ever because I was classed as having special needs in English when I was growing up in primary school, and I became a lecturer in terms of teaching other people. So it's not relevant in terms of the grammar. It's just expressing yourself. So what I ask people to do is to allow the thoughts to relax and then just reflect from the heart, because the messages on the heart have not been told. And that's what this process is about. It's helping to trigger, to have trigger words that help to trigger any memories and in experiences, and then to release them. So that's how the structure works. It'll make it clear in a bit. Let's have a see. Leni, did you like to read this part, please?
Your story will replace my story. What commitment is required? 20 to 30 minutes to read and write your pause for thought relating to the section you have read. Handwrite on A4 sheets of paper, writing pad 24 sheets. Type up your pause for thought section and email to your fabulous facilitator. Reserve a seat on next available class which suits you. You'll be notified of where to find the Zoom link before the appointed time to share your story with your soulmates.
Fantastic, thank you. I just want to say hello to, I think it's Tamil. Hopefully I can't see you on the screen, but I know that you're here. Great for us to join us. We'll hopefully just enjoy the slides as we're going through. If the video goes off, click back on and come back, and then we'll have a little chat to you when we get a space in between the presentation. So this is the layout of the blueprint, and I've put this in here because each section is, so you can see the type section that's here, there's 3 lots. Those are the 10 reasons for telling your story, a poem, and then my story, or your facilitator's story. And that last page there, and that section of 4, is for you to write your story. Now you can't actually see that because it actually just is an image. But the reason why I put it in there is because I thought if you stand like 10 feet back and you look at your storybook, if you can imagine that the sections are all like this, so you'll see on the next, so this is the introduction, and then these are the next 4 chapters. So you can see that each of them, in the meantime, doing versus being, there's just a little image, and then there's an arrow for your story, so you write here. So what you're doing is when you've read these sections here, these are just opportunities to prompt any triggers, any memories, so that as you're reading, your own thoughts are coming in onto the page, and instead of just squashing it down and turning over to the next page, what you're doing is then reflecting your story on your page. And that's the bit that you type up and then email to the facilitator when you've got all 5 of those chapters together. They then get compiled into your book. And at the end of it, you have your story wrote down on around 24 pages. So that's how the process works, because I'm a visual learner. So I like to see what's next. And so this is just the images to be able to show that. So chapter 2 is in the meantime whilst you're busy doing versus being. So you reflect on your life from a doing point of view and a being point of view. And the next chapter is only you that can tell your story. What do you have to offer this community or any community? Claim your passion for serving humanity. So hopefully that section is going to fire up some things in you to think, actually, how am I serving? Pursuit of happiness. You can see that little pyramid there that's on the slide. Many of us have been told, go to school, get a good job, get a good qualification, get a good job, and be in that job for life. But our world is old. Our world is not like that anymore. So what happens when you keep on pursuing happiness and then you realise that actually you're not happy and you want to change? So what this process is doing is helping us to adapt to change so that it's not as traumatic and stressful on our bodies. And then the last one on this first lots of chapters is status. How are you adapting to the different ways of earning money? It's a big issue for many people. So the intention is just to explore it, to think about it, to talk about it, to express it, and then the solutions that we have later on down the line as you write more of your book. So that's the structure of how the process is. I'm just mindful, have we got much time left on this section? Okay, so 10 reasons for writing your story. We've just got 5 minutes left before we click off and then come back again. So 10 reasons for writing your story. This is an opportunity to write your story and empower others to do the same. So think about which one jumps out for you as we read through. So only you can tell your story. Your uniqueness is important during these times of change. And to share is to show compassion to yourself and humanity. Over to Leni.
2. Telling your story in this way empowers us to address the same things which affect all of us and to get into the same page. Many of us have become entangled in a huge web waved for us to keep us distracted. This process helps us break through the illusions.
Tracy, please, and then Cassia, cheers.
By telling your story empowers you to express you more, not our parents, teachers, and influential others.
Okay. Telling your story helps to nurture you and treat you more gently.
Number 5, by telling our stories with the Life After Blueprint means we are walking our talk, hand-holding our fellow beings, paying our story forward to those who are yet to come, who will recognise us not from the qualifications we hold, but by the experience felt from our hearts and souls.
Telling a story connects us to each other, recognizing instantly we were never really alone. That was part of the illusion.
Telling our story this way helps us self-heal.
Giving us permission to allow ourselves to grow in different way, peaceful with love.
Number 9, it prepares the path of our own book. This is writing a book with a difference, independently and in collaboration.
Number 10. Oh.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Okay, number 10. It helps us to create a community of evolving spiritual beings, a network for us to be gaining respect and trust.
Fantastic. I love that. I love people just jumping out because you never know if it's just a bit too early for people. So all it takes is for one person to make a stance, to wake up from the dizzy trance, the trance that makes the world go round, seemingly so, yet invisibly bound by the hidden rope, limiting our viewing scope, damaging our sight from each other, mother, father, sister, brother. Tell it how it was, including the secret. To free the mind is the only way to beat it. Break the silence and be free. Sharing has really been the key to a life free from being excluded. Read on if you want to be included. And I just invite you now just to click off, because I know it's 40 minutes that's coming up, and to click back onto the link, and then we'll start sharing our stories.